Okay, Maniacs, here we go. I wasn't going to do this, but we're all sitting at home, and we're trying to make the best of everything. I just feel that like this temporary situation is going to blow by. Everybody's doing the right thing. Everybody's going to get really, really, really healthy and stay on track. And I think it's going to be a V. I think we're going to take off to greatness one more time. So that being said, we just got done doing arms, me and Ron Howard, and everybody keeps banging on me about The Rock. Banging on me about The Rock. Because I guess every day he's sitting down with his fans, and a lot of them wrestling fans, and talking about matches and talking about his acting career and really interesting stuff. I mean, I love watching it. But then he talked about Wrestlemania 18, his take on it. And I listened to it, and he's pretty much spot on. But, he's seeing Wrestlemania 18 through The Rock's eyes. You got to see it through my eyes. So, you got to get both sides of the story, and then somewhere in the middle is what really happened. But he's pretty much spot on. But the weirdest thing was, coming back from WCW, you guys may understand this, but when you're working for Ted Turner, or working for AEW, or working for any other person, Vince hates competition, and Vince pretty much usually wipes the board clean when he puts the pedal to the metal stuff. We were with Ted Turner for 10 years, actually coming after Vince, actually trying to put him out of business. So when I went back to the WWF with Nash and Hall, we were not the most liked guys in the dressing room. We had a ton of heat with everybody. So walking into this thing, I talked to Vince, and what The Rock said was spot on. A lot of people didn't want us back, and I totally understand that. If we're trying to put you out of business and take over the world, why would you want three guys coming back in that, we're trying to do that to you? But at the end of the day, one hand washes the other. The wrestling business and competition, we're all the boys. The boys are the boys. So at the end of the day, we came in, and at first people were hesitant, and it was just a tough situation, and that transcended into the match. So before we got to the match, one of the things that The Rock didn't say, or maybe he did say, I don't remember, was that Vince, and The Rock didn't know this, but Vince called me on the phone, and of course, Rock was in control. He was the man. Stone Cold was also in control. He was the man. There were two powerhouses at the time, but I had the chance to work with The Rock, and Vince on the phone goes, "Hey, Hogan, if you're coming back, you better bring it." And I was in my mind thinking, okay, if the Hulkamaniacs are still with me, you might want me to take it back. But I didn't say that, okay? I was just thinking that hopefully if things went my way, things would be cool. So, I've never practiced a match before. But I guess because the guys were kicking in the corner, stomp, 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 stomp a million times in the corner, which we didn't used to do, one kick, and the guy going down selling, really told the story, and things had changed where you get a guy in the corner, you just stomp the holy crap out of him. So the whole work cadence had changed. So when I came back, Vince goes, "Well, you better bring it. It's not like it used to be." And I'm thinking, okay, whatever, it'll work. If you got him, you got him. If you're over, you're over. It's just how it is. So when I went back, they wanted me to go down to Miami and practice the match. And, Andre is the one that raised me. And his thing was, this is who's going to win or lose, and whatever happens in the match, don't worry. That's kind of his attitude. You either understand that it's an art form, you either understand the cadence, placement, listening with your ear and your heart. It's an art form. You either get it or you don't. You either have it or you don't have it. If you don't have it, then you choreograph everything. You go through the motions, and maybe you get lucky sometimes to have a good match, and maybe sometimes you look like, just a choreographed dance routine. But they asked me to go down to Miami, and out of respect, I said, yeah, I'll go down, because I had all the respect in the world for The Rock and his dad, and for Vince, of course. And one of the guys that was going to be down there was Pat Patterson, who helped break me in, and I love Pat to death. So I went down there, and The Rock had a great idea of what he wanted to do with the match, and kind of like walk me through it. And I went, okay, that's cool, but in my mind I'm thinking, well, if this doesn't work, what are we going to do? Keep doing this if it's not working? And then I remember a couple of times, The Rock's dad, Rocky, was outside. He goes, "Listen to Dwayne, listen to Hogan." Just a couple of times he said it. It was pretty funny.
Hello, my HMTV viewers, am here to inform you that the world of professional wrestling was shaken today by the news of Hulk Hogan's passing. Born Terry Eugene Bollea, Hogan became one of the most iconic figures in the history of sports entertainment. Known for his signature handlebar mustache, bandanas, and catchphrase, "What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you?" He captivated fans during the golden era of wrestling in the 1980s and 1990s. His larger-than-life persona turned him into a household name, not only in the ring, but also in pop culture, where he starred in movies, TV shows, and even had his own animated series. Hogan rose to fame in the WWF, now WWE, where he won multiple world championships and headlined several Wrestlemanias. His rivalry with legends like Andre the Giant, Macho Man, Randy Savage, and The Ultimate Warrior defined an entire generation of wrestling. Later, his shocking heel, turn, and role as a founding member of the NWO in WCW added a new chapter to his legendary career. His ability to reinvent himself kept him relevant for decades, cementing his place as one of the all-time greats. Beyond wrestling, Hogan was a cultural phenomenon. He became a symbol of American pride and strength, often appearing as a superhero-like figure who encouraged kids to say their prayers and take their vitamins. Despite facing personal and legal controversies later in life, he remained a beloved figure to many fans. His charisma, unmatched showmanship, and contributions to the wrestling industry earned him a place in the WWE Hall of Fame twice. Tributes from across the wrestling world and entertainment industry have poured in, honoring the legacy of a man who truly changed the game. Fellow wrestlers, celebrities, and fans alike remember Hulk Hogan not only for his legendary status in the ring, but for his lasting impact on their lives. Though the immortal has taken his final bow, Hulkamania will live on forever in the hearts of millions. We send our deepest condolences and sympathies to the family and friends